Filled with iconic moments, memorable performances, and a soundtrack that perfectly captures the mood of the era, The Graduate endures as a cinematic masterpiece that continues to resonate with audiences over half a century later. With its incisive social commentary, nuanced characterizations, and timeless themes of love, longing, and liberation, this groundbreaking film remains as relevant and resonant today as it was upon its initial release. Let's dive into the cast's changes before and after the movie. Let's go. Benjamin Braddock, the enigmatic protagonist of The Graduate, emerges as a symbol of youthful disillusionment and existential angst in the tumultuous landscape of 1960s America. Portrayed with remarkable depth and sensitivity by the incomparable Dustin Hoffman, Benjamin personifies the conflicted desires and aspirations of a generation caught between the expectations of the past and the uncertainties of the future. As the film unfolds, we are introduced to Benjamin as a recent college graduate, returning home to the affluent suburbs of Southern California with the weight of expectation looming over him. With his boyish charm and academic achievements, Benjamin seemingly has the world at his feet. Yet beneath his facade of success lies a profound sense of alienation and disconnection from the world around him. Struggling to navigate the suffocating conformity of his upper-class upbringing, Benjamin finds himself adrift in a sea of bourgeois banality, where material wealth and social status offer little solace for his restless soul. Haunted by the specter of an uncertain future and haunted by the hollow promises of the American dream, he embarks on a quest for meaning and authenticity that leads him down a path of rebellion and self-discovery. Throughout his journey, Benjamin grapples with the conflicting demands of duty and desire, torn between the expectations of his family and the yearnings of his own heart. His affair with Mrs. Robinson, the seductive wife of his father's business partner, serves as both a catalyst for his awakening and a source of moral ambiguity. Yet, it is through his relationship with Elaine Robinson, Mrs. Robinson's daughter and Benjamin's true love, that he ultimately finds redemption and a sense of purpose. Announced in 2020, Hoffman's return to the Broadway stage in Scott Rudin's revival of Our Town as the stage manager marked a significant milestone. His last stage appearance had been 30 years prior, in The Merchant of Venice in 1989. The COVID-19 pandemic kept Broadway theaters closed until 2021. Hoffman also appeared in As They Made Us, directed by Mayim Bialik, alongside Candice Bergen, Deanna Agron, and Simon Helberg. In Darren Legallo's directorial debut, Sam and Kate, filming began in February 2022, starring Hoffman alongside Sissy Spacek and his son, Jake Hoffman. Attached to the feature comedy film, Mr. Shaw Goes to Hollywood as MGM studio head Louis B. Mayer in September 2021, filming was tentatively set to commence in fall 2021. In October 2022, Hoffman was cast in Francis Ford Coppola's latest film, Megalopolis, a dystopian science fiction epic, reuniting him with his Midnight Cowboy co-star, Jon Voight. Set to premiere at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival, the film holds great anticipation. Hoffman is also attached to Peter Greenaway's upcoming film, Lucca Mortis, which has commenced filming in the Tuscan city of Lucca. Most recently, he reprised his role as Master Shifu in Kung Fu Panda 4, 2024. Meet Mrs. Robinson, a character who transcends the screen to become an emblem of allure, complexity, and intrigue. Portrayed with mesmerizing depth by Anne Bancroft in the iconic film The Graduate, Mrs. Robinson embodies a beguiling mix of sophistication and disillusionment. From the moment she graces the screen, Mrs. Robinson captivates audiences with her enigmatic presence and smoldering gaze. As the seductive wife of Benjamin Braddock's father's business partner, she exudes an air of world-weary sophistication, masking a deep-seated sense of emptiness and longing. Mrs. Robinson's allure lies not only in her physical beauty, but also in her sharp intellect and razor-sharp wit. She navigates the complexities of her loveless marriage with a steely resolve, seeking solace and excitement in the arms of a much younger man. Bancroft's final on-screen appearance occurred in a 2004 episode of HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm, where she portrayed herself. Later that same year, she was slated to appear in Spanglish 2004, but had to withdraw due to a medical emergency. Her last project before her passing was the animated feature film Delgo, which was released posthumously in 2008 and dedicated to her memory. In recognition of her contributions to television, Bancroft was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 6368 Hollywood Boulevard. Installed in 1960, the star commemorated her achievements in television, coinciding with her recent appearances in several TV series. Additionally, Bancroft was posthumously inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 1992. Bancroft's passing, attributed to uterine cancer, occurred at the age of 73 on June 6, 2005, at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan. Her death came as a surprise to many, as the intensely private Bancroft had kept details of her illness confidential, even from some close friends. She was laid to rest at Kensico Cemetery in Valhalla, New York, alongside her father, Michael Italiano, and her mother, Mildred Italiano, who passed away 5 years after Anne in April 2010. The film Delgo, her final cinematic endeavor, was dedicated to her memory. Meet Elaine Robinson. Portrayed with grace and depth by Katherine Ross, Elaine embodies the essence of youthful idealism and rebellion against societal expectations. As the daughter of Mrs. Robinson, Elaine symbolizes innocence and hope in a world filled with disillusionment. Her journey from sheltered ingenue to empowered individual serves as a catalyst for both personal growth and romantic entanglement. Throughout the film, Elaine's presence challenges the protagonist, Benjamin Braddock, to confront his own fears and desires, leading to a transformative exploration of love, identity, and authenticity. Katherine Ross's portrayal infuses Elaine with a captivating blend of vulnerability and strength, leaving an indelible mark on audiences and cementing her as a timeless emblem of youthful defiance and the pursuit of true happiness. After marrying cinematographer Conrad Hall, Ross took a hiatus from Hollywood for a period. During this time, she sporadically engaged in acting, featuring in films such as Get to Know Your Rabbit, 1972, They Only Kill Their Masters, 1972, alongside James Garner, and Chance and Violence, 1974, with Yves Montand. Despite receiving offers for additional roles, including one in The Towering Inferno, Ross declined. In January 2015, she participated in a series called A Conversation with at the Malibu Playhouse, where she was interviewed by Stephen Gaydos. The following February, Ross reunited with Sam Elliott to co-star in Love Letters, also staged at the Malibu Playhouse. In 2017, Ross portrayed Sam Elliott's ex-wife in The Hero, a film depicting an aging Western star played by Elliott. Meet Mr. Braddock, a character emblematic of the post-war American ideal, successful, dignified, and poised. Portrayed with understated complexity by William Daniels in The Graduate, Mr. Braddock embodies the essence of the traditional patriarch. As the father of Benjamin Braddock, Mr. Braddock exudes an aura of authority and accomplishment, his demeanor reflecting the values of his generation. A man of wealth and status, he navigates the world with a sense of duty and responsibility, striving to uphold the image of success that defines his identity. Yet beneath his outward facade lies a soul burdened by the weight of unspoken regrets and unfulfilled aspirations. Despite his material wealth and professional achievements, Mr. Braddock grapples with a profound sense of disillusionment, yearning for a deeper connection with his family amidst the superficial trappings of suburban life. In 2014, Daniels returned to his role as Mr. Feeney in the pilot episode of the Boy Meets World spin-off, Girl Meets World. He made a cameo appearance in the final scene, where he praised adult Corey Matthews for his parenting skills. He also appeared in subsequent episodes during the second and third seasons. In early 2023, Daniels finished filming his portrayal of King Henry VI in the upcoming production of Richard III. It's worth noting that Daniels declined a Tony Award nomination for featured actor in a musical in 1776 in 1969. He insisted that the role of John Adams was a leading one rather than supporting. He was deemed ineligible for the Best Actor nomination due to a technicality. His name wasn't billed above the show's title. Between 1983 and 1987, Daniels received 5 consecutive nominations for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for his work in St. Elsewhere. He won the award in 1985 and 1986. In a notable achievement, Daniels and Bonnie Bartlett, who portrayed his fictional wife on St. Elsewhere, both won Emmy Awards on the same night in 1986. This made them the first married couple to achieve this feat since Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontanne in 1965 for their roles in The Magnificent Yankee for the Hallmark Hall of Fame. Murray Hamilton's portrayal of Mr. Robinson in The Graduate is a masterclass in understated complexity, bringing to life a character who, at first glance, embodies the epitome of suburban success and conformity. Through Hamilton's nuanced performance, Mr. Robinson emerges as a figure of both authority and vulnerability, grappling with the tensions between societal expectations and personal desires. One of Hamilton's greatest strengths in the role is his ability to convey a sense of internal conflict beneath Mr. Robinson's polished exterior. On the surface, he exudes confidence and control, effortlessly navigating the world of business and social etiquette. However, as the narrative unfolds, subtle glimpses of doubt and insecurity begin to surface, revealing the cracks in Mr. Robinson's carefully constructed facade. Prior to and during his film career, Hamilton enjoyed considerable success as a distinguished stage actor. He earned acclaim for his performance in the 1965 production of Absence of a Cello, garnering a Tony Award nomination for his portrayal. Notably, New York Times theater critic Brooke Atkinson lauded Hamilton's work in Stockade, a play adapted from a section of James Jones's novel From Here to Eternity, praising his portrayal of Prewitt. Murray Hamilton is an ideal Prewitt. Modest in manner, pleasant of voice, he has a steel-like spirit that brings Prewitt, honestly, to life. When faced with challenges in securing film roles due to illness, Hamilton received support from his former colleague, George C. Scott. Scott facilitated Hamilton's involvement in the made-for-television movie The Last Days of Patton, 1986, providing him with an opportunity to continue his craft. Hamilton passed away at the age of 63 due to lung cancer and was laid to rest at Oakdale Cemetery in his hometown of Washington, North Carolina. He is survived by his wife, Terry DeMarco Hamilton, known for her involvement in the DeMarco sisters, and their son, David. Mrs. Braddock, portrayed by Elizabeth Wilson, Mrs. Braddock embodies the archetype of the affluent suburban housewife, yet beneath her polished exterior lies a woman grappling with her own hopes, fears, and desires. At first glance, Mrs. Braddock appears to conform to the societal expectations of her role as a wife and mother. She exudes an air of propriety and decorum, seamlessly navigating the world of cocktail parties and social engagements that define her social circle. However, as the narrative unfolds, we come to see that Mrs. Braddock's seemingly idyllic existence is fraught with tension and dissatisfaction. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Elizabeth Wilson was the daughter of insurance agent Henry Dunning Wilson and Marie Ethel, née Welter, Wilson. Her maternal grandfather, a wealthy German immigrant, provided her upbringing in a grand mansion. Wilson began her theatrical journey at the Barter Theater in Abingdon, Virginia, before honing her craft under the tutelage of Sanford Meisner at the neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater in New York City. In 1972, she achieved acclaim, winning the Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a play for her performance in Sticks and Bones. Recognized for her contributions to the stage, Wilson was posthumously inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 2006. On May 9, 2015, at the age of 94, Wilson passed away at her residence in New Haven, Connecticut. She was laid to rest alongside her parents at Oak Hill Cemetery in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Buck Henry as room clerk. Despite his relatively brief appearance on screen, the room clerk's interactions with Benjamin offer a glimpse into the protagonist's inner turmoil and existential crisis. Through his detached demeanor and perceptive observations, he serves as a mirror to Benjamin's sense of disorientation and disillusionment, subtly probing beneath the surface of the young man's polished exterior. In terms of his relationship with other characters, the room clerk's interactions are limited primarily to Benjamin. However, his brief encounter with the protagonist leaves a lasting impression, highlighting the character's ability to subtly challenge Benjamin's assumptions and provoke introspection. Later in his career, Henry gained recognition for his guest starring and recurring roles on television. He portrayed Dr. Victor Rudman, a fractal scientist who dated Murphy, in an episode of Murphy Brown titled My Dinner with Einstein in 1989. Henry also made an appearance on the television series Will and Grace in 2005. In 2007, he made 2 guest appearances on The Daily Show as a contributor, where he was introduced as the show's senior correspondent. Additionally, he played the role of Liz Lemon's father, Dick Lemon, in 2 episodes of 30 Rock Ludachristmas, December 13, 2007, and Gentleman's Intermission, November 4, 2010. In 2011, Henry took on a multi-episode arc in Hot in Cleveland as Elka's groom. Sadly, Henry passed away from a heart attack at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles on January 8, 2020, at the age of 89. Mr. McGuire, portrayed by Walter Brooke in The Graduate, is a character who serves as both a mentor and a symbol of the establishment. With his distinguished demeanor and worldly wisdom, Mr. McGuire represents the older generation's perspective on success and ambition. In terms of personality, Mr. McGuire exudes an air of confidence and authority, his demeanor reflecting a lifetime of experience and achievement. As a successful businessman, he navigates the world with a sense of assurance and self-assurance, commanding respect and admiration from those around him. Brooke was deeply involved in the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, holding positions as a director at both local and national levels. Additionally, he served as an officer in Actors' Equity. Brooke passed away in Los Angeles on August 20, 1986, at the age of 71 due to emphysema. He is survived by his wife, Elizabeth Ragg Brooke, and their 2 children, Thomas Brooke and Christina Brooke. Norman Fell portrays Mr. McCleary, a character who represents the stifling conformity and materialism of suburban America in the 1960s. Mr. McCleary serves as an embodiment of the establishment, adhering rigidly to societal norms and values. Personality-wise, Mr. McCleary exudes an air of authority and sternness, his demeanor reflecting a staunch adherence to tradition and propriety. He is portrayed as a no-nonsense individual whose primary concern is maintaining the status quo and upholding the image of respectability within his community. In terms of relationships, Mr. McCleary's interactions are primarily professional, with his colleagues and neighbors viewing him with a mixture of deference and apprehension. He is seen as a figure of authority within the community, his opinions and decisions carrying weight due to his perceived status and influence. Fell earned a Golden Globe Award for Best TV Actor in a Supporting Role in 1979 for his work on Three's Company. He received an Emmy Award nomination for his compelling portrayal as the boxing trainer of Tom Jordache, Nick Nolte, in the miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man. His final television appearance occurred when he made a cameo as Mr. Roper in an episode of the sitcom Ellen in 1997. In his personal life, Fell married Dolores Pecus in Philadelphia on May 21, 1950. They divorced in 1954, and Fell subsequently married and divorced twice more. He had 2 daughters, Tracy and Mara, with his second wife, and adopted a son with his third wife, Karen Weingard. Facing illness, Fell was admitted to the hospital on November 26, 1998, Thanksgiving Day, after experiencing weakness that prevented him from leaving his bed at his Marina del Rey residence. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, bone marrow cancer. He passed away at the Motion Picture and Television's retirement home in Woodland Hills, California, on December 14, 1998, at the age of 74. Alice Ghostley portrays Mrs. Singleman. Personality-wise, Mrs. Singleman is portrayed as a somewhat eccentric and melancholic figure, her demeanor reflecting a sense of resignation and vulnerability. She is depicted as a woman who has grown accustomed to the routine and solitude of her existence, yet yearns for something more meaningful and fulfilling. In terms of relationships, Mrs. Singleman's interactions are limited primarily to her brief encounter with Benjamin Braddock. Despite their fleeting connection, she serves as a mirror to Benjamin's own sense of disillusionment and existential angst, highlighting the universal desire for human connection and understanding. At work, Mrs. Singleman's occupation is not explicitly stated in the film, but she is depicted as a resident of the suburban neighborhood where Benjamin lives. Her presence serves to underscore the isolation and alienation that permeates the community, as well as the inherent loneliness of modern life. Ghostley garnered a Tony nomination in 1963 for her various roles in the Broadway comedy The Beauty Part. She also clinched a Tony Award for Best Featured Actress for her portrayal in The Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window. Additionally, in 1992, she secured an Emmy nomination for her performance in Designing Women. In her personal life, Ghostley was married to Felice Orlandi, an Italian-American actor from 1953 until his passing in 2003. Ghostley passed away at her residence in Studio City, California on September 21, 2007, due to colon cancer and a series of strokes. Marian Lauren portrays Miss DeWitt. Miss DeWitt exudes confidence and refinement, with poised demeanor and articulate speech. She is portrayed as a woman of stature and influence, yet also possesses warmth and genuine concern for Benjamin and his future. In her relationship with Benjamin Braddock, Miss DeWitt acts as a mentor and encourager, always ready to lend a helping hand and support him through life's challenges. While their relationship is primarily professional, there is a sense of intimacy and care from Miss DeWitt towards Benjamin. Marian Lauren's portrayal of Miss DeWitt is one of sophistication and compassion, creating a character who is both influential and nurturing. Miss DeWitt plays a pivotal role in fostering Benjamin's growth and serves as a symbol of care and support from both family and community. Her final role, portraying Aunt Clara in Bewitched, earned Lauren widespread recognition as an endearing witch whose magical abilities are waning due to old age, often resulting in comical mishaps. Aunt Clara's signature entrance involved descending down the chimney, and her peculiar hobby of collecting doorknobs was a recurring theme throughout the series. Interestingly, Lauren herself possessed a substantial collection of doorknobs, some of which she incorporated into the show as props. Following her passing, Lauren's character Aunt Clara appeared in 27 episodes of Bewitched, and no replacement was sought for her role. She passed away from a heart attack at her Manhattan apartment on May 9, 1968, at the age of 84, before the commencement of filming for the show's 5th season. She was laid to rest at Ferncliff Cemetery in Greenburgh, New York. Thank you for watching all the videos. See you again in the next videos.